Okay, in the last lesson, we added texture in these lines to give it that more technical look. And on this lesson, we're going to look at adding some color and glow to really give it that futuristic hologram look. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some color. And for this one, let's go ahead and add curves. And we'll do that by going to Effects. Oh, at first, make sure we're on the right screen. So we do want to be on this screen in our main hologram. And we're going to select our screen comp because we're going to add the color and all the effects to our screen hologram. So select that, and we'll go Effect, Color Correction, Curves. And let's see, so this first one is gray, and so that's kind of it's kind of like a contrast. So you bring it down, and it kind of adds like more black and makes it darker. And when you go up, it adds more white, makes it a little more brighter looking. I want mine to kind of be a little bit, maybe a little bit brighter. Now the next channel we have, and I'm on my RGB channel right here. On the red channel, I'm just going to take a little bit of that out. So when you bring it down, you're removing the color. You move it up, and you're adding the color. So you can see when I bring it up, it adds red. So I'm going to take a little of the red out. I'm going to take a little bit of the green out, and I'm going to add more of the blue. So something like that. We add a little more of the. Try to make it a little more gray or a little lighter in tone. Okay, so that's adding some color to it. Now on the next one, we're going to add some glow. So for that one, we're going to go into, make sure again our screen comp is selected. So that's this area right here. And we're going to go into Effect. And let's see, it's Stylize and Glow. Okay, and here's our glow options. And we're going to play around with these three here, the threshold, radius, and intensity. So when you bring the threshold down, you can see it really kind of brightens and kind of distorts it. When you bring it up, it takes it out. So as you go to 100, it's usually nothing, and as you bring it down, it's going to add more of the threshold. So I think on default it was probably like around 50. So maybe I'll kind of leave it and kind of try not to get it too, like here it's probably a little too hard to read. Let me move it up a little bit, maybe about 60. That looks a little bit better. I think that might work. Now let me try my glow radius. And I'm clicking and dragging. So to the left, it goes down to 0. When I click it to the right, you can see it adds the glow to the outside, so it pushes all the glow outside. And so that actually looks pretty good at 150. So as you can see, the more you put it out, or the higher the number, the farther it goes out. It doesn't look too bad. The intensity, as you add that, it's kind of like the threshold. The higher you move it up, the more intense the glow, and the more down you go, the less it gets. So for this one, for the intensity, I kind of wanted to make sure I still can read it, but I would like to get it glowing more. So I might add a little more than 1. Like 1.5 looks almost a little too much, but at least it gives me that glow look. Okay, so that's already starting to look pretty good for the glow and that sci-fi hologram look. Now I'm going to add some glow here. since I got that glowing, might as well add some to the circle base here too. So kind of the same things, except I think we're going to add the color a little bit differently because we're actually going to add the color to a white. So let's try that. So for the color, we'll go to and make sure our circles are selected on that, and we'll go Effect, Color Correction, and let's see. I think on this one last one we used curve, so this one I think we'll go back and use the hue saturation, because on this one, this is the one where we can actually colorize it. So I'm going to check on that colorize box, and I believe in order to get the white to show up, we're going to have to lower the lightness of it. See, if you add more, it just stays white, and the more you bring it down, the more of the color you can see. So when you start getting into the negative numbers, you can see the color showing up, and it gets darker. So it's about 40. Looks like it shows through pretty decent. So let's try the saturation. Get a little more color. The 50s looks pretty good. We'll try the hue. Will actually change the color, and I want mine to be blue. Kind of try to match the my hologram a little bit. So I'll just kind of go around the color wheel here until I can see my blue. And here that looks pretty good. So I think I got my blue. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So now we're going to add the glow, and then if we want to come back to this, we can change it. So let's go ahead and add our glow. I'm just going to do a search on the effects and presets. Look for glow. And once again, I'm going to add it to my circles. So I'm just going to click it and drag it down here onto my circles. And it shows up over here. And once again, I'm going to change my threshold, play around with it. And that also kind of changes the color somewhat. Takes a little bit out as I'm going down, as I'm clicking and going down. And the glow radius, that'll put the glow on the outside, which, you know, makes it look like it's actually glowing. Okay, and then my intensity. That kind of brightens it up a little bit. I think that kind of matches it a little bit better. So I think that looks pretty good. Okay. And try to run it and see if it plays. And just kind of see how it moves and how it looks. I know, sorry, my memory is so slow. Okay, and that looks pretty good. And we'll call that the end of this lesson.